Welcome to Everything Carp Fishing. I'm down on my Syndicate water and I've got 4 nights in the most carpiest time of the year to hopefully catch a decent carp. Let's go. Well, I've just arrived down the lake and I've chosen the swim I want to, and it's absolutely chucking it down at the moment. I've managed to set my biv up and shove everything in at the moment. I'm just waiting out for a lull in the rain a little bit so I can actually start setting up everything else. So I've chosen my swim and I'm happy with it really, because this is a swim that's pretty good on this lake. I reckon I'll definitely get a bite in this swim. If not, I'll move and try and see if I can find something. There's an easier lake on the complex, so I could get one out of there at some point. The lake's changed quite a bit since I've been here last. The pads are starting to disappear, the reeds are starting to die off, and yeah, a lot of leaves on the ground, so it's a lot different than it was last time. The autumn is really settling in now. I mean, we're properly it's getting colder a little bit, but the other thing is there's some warmer weather has started hitting. Yesterday was like 18 degrees, and I think today is about 15-16 degrees as well, so suddenly we've got a little warm spell, and I think that might really get the fish going, especially as it's going to be colder soon. Let's see, I'll get the rigs all sorted and the rods out in a bit. Let's hope I catch a carp. Well, I've got rods out now. I put both of them about 7 3/4 wraps out. I've had bites on them before. It's sort of like light silt over gravel, and it's produced carp before. As they swim up and down, they sort of come in and feed, and you do get quite a few bites on there. I mean, you can get up to 5 or 6 bites in a couple of nights. It's crazy on this lake. Sometimes in this swim on this spot can really get going. Sometimes you can't really choose which one, but I'm hoping to get a decent carp. I've decided to fish with boilies as well this time instead of spomming like I normally do. I've got one on a snowman on a half yellow pop up on top of a bottom bait, and that actually did me a carp last time I was here, so I'm going to stick with that as well. I'll stick with one rod on that, and the other rod I've actually put a washed out pink. It's a pop up, but because I put it on the Ronnie rig, it's sort of like a wafter really. It's got so much weight there, it's sort of wafting. That's perfect for what I want really, because I don't really want anything too far off the bottom, because they seem to spook from pop-ups in here, I don't know why. Yeah, so I've put out about 30 or 40 boilies over 2 rods. I'm not going to go crazy because I don't really know how they're going to be feeding at the moment. I just want a few boilies around there just to get them to come in and pick up the hook bait. I've also been soaking them in water, and I've put in a bit of liquid as well. I've actually matched the liquid to them. They're actually a coconut and almond boilie, and what I've done is I've added coconut and almond flavour to them, so they're basically soaking in extra flavour as they're soaking in the water. And also they're soft as well, which means that they're more likely to eat them quicker. As it gets colder, they can't digest them as much, and they find it hard for harder baits. So softer baits will get you quicker bites in autumn and winter as well, and that's always really good to try out something like that. Really, I might get a bite in the evening, but you know, I can get one at night or in the morning. I reckon it's more likely to get a bite at night in this swim. The leaves seem to be falling all over my bivvy. No, it'll stick into the edge. Yeah, they will fall. Like, bits of branches keep falling down and everything. It's crazy at the moment. Bits of things are flying everywhere. Yeah, it's meant to be stopped raining later, and hopefully I'll have a non-rain night, because that'd be good. Because last time I was here, it literally rained every single night and every single day. I'm hoping it won't be raining for the next couple of days, and yeah, that'd be good. Hopefully I'll get a carp. We'll see. Well, nothing's really happened at the moment. I have seen a carp jump in the swim next to me, but I haven't really seen anything jump where I am. There's lots of carp in here, and they swim up and down all the time. So you know, could get a bite. Yeah, evening is drawing in now, and we'll see what happens. haven't had anything this morning, so decided to bring the rods in, refresh the hook baits, get them back out there, and I've put about 10 to 15 boilies per rod, and just to put some fresh bait in and fresh scent into the area, and yeah, I'll see what happens. I do think today will be a really good chance of getting a bite. The sun's out and it's starting to get a bit warmer as well, and I'm thinking that they might spend a little time warming themselves up, and then hopefully they'll start feeding at some point today. Yeah, we'll see what happens, and just keep going really. Well, I haven't had anything today, it's been a bit quiet, I haven't really seen anything jump at all, it's pretty silent. Yeah, nothing really to report at all. Hopefully I'll get something tonight, let's see. Oh well, I didn't really have anything last night and nothing this morning. I did see a few fish jumping, but that's about it. I've given it until about 9, nothing's happened, so I've recast the rods and just see if I can get a bite before 12. If not, I am possibly planning to move. I don't know yet, but I might actually move to a harder lake, which would be crazy, but it has, for some reason it's producing carp at the moment, so I might move, but I'll see. Well, I gave it until 12, haven't had anything, so I've decided to pack up and move lakes. This is actually a much harder lake, but there's a lot more 30s in here and a lot more bigger carp. So let's just see if I can catch one decent carp, and that'll do. I'll see what the night brings, and hopefully I'll have a carp to show by tomorrow. Finally decided where I'm going to cast the rods. I've got 2 on the island, I've got 1 on a little gravel hump that's right close to the island. I've actually got one about 6 foot back from the island to the left, and yeah, let's see what happens. I've put a few baits around, I've put about 10 on each one, and just after a quick bite and see what happens really. I don't really know how much bait to put in. I'm thinking less is probably better at the moment. They're not really feeding that much. I don't really want them to feed on too many boilies before they pick my hook bait up, or put loads of boilies and eating them and then just going off. I want them to actually eat a few and then pick up the hook bait, hopefully. I'm just going to sit back and see if anything happens. Yeah, hopefully I'll get a bite tonight, or possibly in the morning. This swim does do early morning bites. Every time I've come in here it's early morning, so yeah, we'll see. Well, I tell you what, when things are going really bad and you haven't had a carp in 2 nights, it's nice to have a nice cup of tea. Yep, feel better already. There's nothing like having some biscuits as well. That's good. Yep. Well, I didn't have anything last night, it was pretty quiet. It did get a little bit cold, but it is autumn. I've had a look around the lake this morning to see if there's any swims free. There's quite a lot of people on at the moment. I've just seen if there's anyone else is packing away and moving. There's one guy packing away, but he hasn't had anything, and there's no point in me moving to that swim at all really. I'm better off just staying in this swim. I'm going to give it the day, and then possibly I might do the night in here. I'll see if I want to move or not, but I'm more likely to stay, and yeah, just see if I can get a bite within today or tonight, or possibly tomorrow morning. Well, I've decided to make some changes. I'm not going to move, so what I've done is I've drilled out a boilie and I've put a bit of cork in it, and I've tipped it off with a bit of plastic corn, and I've stuck that back out on the island. On the other rod I'm fishing a pink pop-up, and I've put a little bit of foam underneath it to make it more buoyant on the Ronnie rig. I've cast it as far as I can to the left of in the open water, and I found a bit of a hole. It's actually quite deep, It took me 2 casts to get it out there because it's a hanging tree and it's a bit difficult. But yeah, I'm confident on that one. Let's see what happens really. Well, last night it wouldn't stop raining. It got heavier and heavier, and yeah, it was quite bad, and I thought I'd be fine where I was. And yeah, 2 o'clock in the morning I got woken up by a noise, and I didn't know what it was, and when I went out to see what it was, my bucket was trying to take off into the lake, and the swim was half flooded, and I literally had a foot in front of my bivvy, and then it hit water. I thought, oh no. You know, I thought maybe I can just move my bivvy back and then be fine. It did start rising in the next sort of 10-20 minutes where I was waiting to figure out what I was going to do. And then I've actually got a river behind me where I was. I looked over the river and it was literally about 4 or 5 inches from the top. It was about to topple over, so I wasn't sure about being in that swim because the river was right behind me. I didn't want the river flowing into it and taking my bivvy out or completely flooding me out. I'd be underwater in that swim. So what I did is I packed everything away at 2:30 in the morning, and I moved over to the easier lake, and it's actually closer to the car park as well, so it's easier for me to pack away if it rains anymore. Yeah, I got sorted, and yeah, I got the rods out as well. Yeah, we'll see if I can get a last minute bite in here. It is easier, it's got more carp in this lake. I think it's got like double the amount of carp that is in the other ones. So let's see if I can get one right last minute. If I don't, well, it was a bit of a disaster at the end. Oh god, I don't recommend doing that. Yeah. Well, I'll wait it out for a couple more hours in the morning. I'm going to give it until about 10:30, 11 o'clock or so. If I've had nothing by then, I'm probably going to pack away and go. But we'll see if I get one between then. Yeah. Oh, look at that. I thought I was going to have a blank session, but I can't believe it. I went on the pink pop-up as well, which is really good. They're my new baits as well I'm trying out this winter, and looks so far, looks good. This one's £19, 4 ounces. What a lovely fish. Right, let's get him back. I need so many hoodies. Right, yeah, so I've decided to cast both my rods down each of the trees. There's one to the right and one to the left. I put one out in front of the tree to the right and then underneath the one on the left, and I just put a few chops around it. I kept the same hook baits on, and what I decided to do is put a few chops around it. Instead of whole ones, I thought I'd like crumb some up, chop some up, yeah, a few handfuls each, and yeah, the rest you know. I had it on a 12mm pink pop-up. I put a little bit of foam underneath it just to give it extra buoyancy on the run your rig, and I had a good drop on it and it went, which is really amazing. I was actually about to get out and do a bit of filming, and it just screamed off, and it went right underneath the tree to the right, and it just got stuck underneath it. But I kept the pressure and I kept hold of it, and eventually it popped out and I got it in the net rather quickly, really, to be honest. It did give me a hell of a kick underneath the tree, but he actually went in the net with a few smashes around. It smashed around a little bit and then it went in the net. Yeah, really nice chestnutty looking carp, and I'm really happy with it. Even though it was only £19 and 4 ounces, I'll take that. That is an amazing looking carp. Yeah, it doesn't matter if it was £20, that is a good fish to me. It saves me blanking, and hopefully I'll get an opportunity to get another one. I'll see, but one will do for me. If I get another one, that'll be a bonus. So I'm going to give it a couple more hours, see what happens, and yeah, at least I've had a carp. Well, I've just had another take and it's come off. It's unfortunate, but doesn't matter. At least I had that lovely autumn 19-pounder. What an amazing fish that was. Don't forget to check out my other videos, and also don't forget to check out the blog. The link is in the description below. And thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.